And we are live. Hey guys, welcome back to Critical African Thinkers. As you know, this is a place where we examine everything under the microscope of logic to ascertain what is most factual and logically consistent. So today we're back again with Candace Owens and our obvious obsession with Erika Kirk. You know, you don't want to be on the bad side of Candace Owens because she's going to dig up everything there is to find out about you. And she's been doing that with Erika Kirk. She isn't letting this woman having any breathing space. She's digging everything about her past. Um, I think a few days ago she revealed some really interesting text messages, which amounted to, they were kind of a groomy. They had this groomy feel, like Erika Kirk was grooming a minor, the kind of sexually suggestive things that she said to this young girl, this underage girl, just weird vibes. It was giving me the Trump grab them by the pussy kind of vibe. Right? That was what it was giving me. So we're just going to go through it and see what Candace has to say about this.
Okay, shout out to Nimi Skincare for sponsoring today's episode. It's the only skincare brand that I've actually stayed consistent with and what my routine is built around. Winter is when skin really, first and foremost, a YouTuber by the name of Nicey. So full credit to Nicey. And then, of course, Baron Coleman picked it up. I love it. We're all just pooling information. And here we are. Is regarding this relationship that Erika had over, it looks like social media. A lot of it played out over social media. And I'm just going to actually cut to Nicey here, who's going to unpack it for you and to give you a little bit of background. It's 2013, and therefore Erika has just completed her year as Miss Arizona, and she's 25 years old at the time. Erika is. And now you're going to learn how she met Jillian. Take a listen.
Back in 2013, Erica was 25 years old and she was in a relationship with a basketball player named Joshua Harrelson. So at the time, he was living in Michigan and Erica moved out there to be with him. On the evening of September 15th, 2013, Joshua Harrelson and Erica met a 15-year-old girl named Jillian Falcon. And I know this because Jillian tweeted about it. At 3:53 p.m., Jillian tweeted that she was out for sushi with her friend, and 2 hours later, she tweeted, "Just met Miss Arizona and Josh Harrelson, heart eyes emoji." Now, I'm not sure if Jillian coincidentally bumped into Erica and Joshua or if they were introduced. What I do know is that Jillian had a friend, and the friend's grandparents were renting a home to Erica in Michigan. So I'm not entirely sure if all of these people just bumped into each other coincidentally at the sushi restaurant or if they were formally introduced. But nonetheless, they met, and Erica struck up what I view as a very odd relationship with the 15-year-old girl named Jillian.
So at this point, it doesn't really seem odd, meeting someone, meeting your idol, meeting someone that you hold in high esteem. It can be an exciting experience, can be a thrilling experience. But then, when that person that you hold in high regard begins to take advantage of your obvious adulation of them, then it begins to get into some sketchy territory, which is what happened in this case, I guess.
So I can help clarify. I can build on that. Like I said, I spoke with Jillian, and that information, part of that information is very accurate. It was about payment for.
Where do you have time to be speaking with all these people? You have like how many kids now, Candace? How are you taking care of them? Do you have nannies taking care of your kids for you? That's really interesting.
For rent. And that is how Jillian meets Erika Kirk. She opens the door. She's presumably living with or visiting her boyfriend at the time. And she sees Erika Kirk and she thinks, oh my gosh, this girl, 25-year-old girl, is so beautiful. And Erika is extremely kind to her. And they start speaking. And somehow, and Jillian does not recall how this transpired, somehow during this rent arrangement, Erika and her exchange numbers. Okay. What happens next is they begin messaging each other, a texting relationship, and across social media, making comments on one another's posts. And in the beginning, it seems fine enough, I guess. The conversation is polite, maybe something that you might expect to see between someone who has some level of notoriety or fame and one of their fans over social media. But then it picks up, just as Nicey indicates. It picks up. and I am going to allow you to listen to her explain what then transpires. And I would also, again, like to reinforce the fact that this girl, Jillian, is 15 years old and Erika is 25. It's worth mentioning that at this point in her biography, Erika is also working with sex trafficking charities. This is that year where she says that she got involved with a sex trafficking charity over in China. I'll have more for you on that next week, but take it away, Nicey.
Give yourself 2026 to master the Bible as pastors do.
If you want to study the Bible like a
On February 13th, 2014, Jillian replied to one of Erika's tweets by saying, at Erika Francvi, gorgeous as always. A few hours later, she then tweeted, why did at Erika Francvi just send me this? Laughing emojis. And there is a photo which says, this Valentine's Day, I am going to touch your butt. Jillian posted this tweet on March 6, 2014. So
Oh, that's very, very weird. That's something. How do you send that kind of sexually suggestive message to a minor, a 15-year-old girl? I mean, what's wrong with these people, these creeps? If you want to be depraved, if you want to have as much sexual partners as you want to have, there are adult people you could have this with. Just leave them kids alone. Leave them alone. Maybe because you can mold them into whatever you want to mold them into. That's why this is happening, right? This is reminiscent of Donald Trump's grab them by the pussy kind of thing. That's the kind of vibe I'm seeing here. This Valentine's Day, you are going to.
Erika says, let me call you. Hold on, sweetheart. Give me a sex. Wow. And then Jillian says, okay, and puts laughing emojis. Erika then says, Sex too, but not from you. LOL.
Really? This to a 15-year-old child. Okay.
Holy laughing emoji. You always make me laugh. I don't bat for the other team just yet. On March 13th, 2014, Jillian shared another screenshot of her text messages with Erika. Erika says, I forgot to tell you, hydrate tonight. No alcohol and don't eat a lot of salty foods. You don't want to look bloated. Jillian then responds, thank you. Erika says, no alcohol. Really, Erika? Age recognition, you twat waffle. Apparently, I haven't had my coffee yet. What the hell, Erika? Laughing emoji. Well, on that bite, note, damn you, Siri. Come on, hashtag the struggle. What are you trying to say, laughing emoji? Spit it out, you twat waffle. On the morning of March 26, 2014, Jillian tweeted, I just want to be somebody's woman crush Wednesday. Is that too much to ask? That evening, she then tweets, thank you at Erika Francvi for making my whole week. And she shares this photo, and the photo is of a gnome, and it says, I want to be inside your lady garden. Know what I'm saying?
More weird, sexually suggestive stuff, which should in no way be sent to a child. If these are two adult women having these conversations, it's their business. They can do whatever the hell they want. But sending things like this to a child, this is highly inappropriate.
On April 3rd, 2014, Jillian tweeted this picture and said, I miss this goon. A few minutes later, she tweeted, did Erika just text me hashtag no new friends? Oh my fucking god, I can't. A few days later, on April 5th, 2014, Jillian posted this tweet, getting this in the mail from Erika Francvi. And in the photo is a red box of chocolate-covered strawberries and other chocolate desserts. And the card in the photo says this, Happy Sweet 16, beautiful girl. Keep strong in faith and know that you're loved. But most of all, never forget that you are perfect and amazing just the way you are. I am so proud of you. Today is the first day of another 365-day journey around the sun. Enjoy the trip, boo. Love you.
And the thing is, Erica knew very well the age of this child. So she can't feign ignorance and say, I don't know that she was a child. I don't know she was underage. She knew very well. And with the way she's been carrying on this conversation, it seemed like this is not the first time she's done something like this because it seems very, very, very smooth. So if she's done something like this with other girls, then we're looking at Epstein level territory here. Not good.
On June 7th, 2014, Jillian shared this tweet. This has to be the most heartfelt compliment I've ever gotten. And she attached a screenshot of her conversation with Erika. So Jillian says, "Thank you." Erica says, "You have the most stunning features." Jillian says, "Best compliment ever." Erica says, "Your eyes, your lips, your skin, you're absolutely beautiful." Jillian responds with the crying emoji.
You know, you see, women can get away with stuff like this. A man cannot say this to another man and get away with it. You can't say this to a younger man. It's gonna come off very weird, but it might it might not have it may not have aroused any suspicions saying something like this to a fellow woman just because of the way women communicate and all that. But when you piece everything together, then you begin to see that there's something suspicious about it. This isn't just someone being friendly. This is someone taking it very, very sexually explicit and with a child for that matter, which should not be happening. Which should not be happening.
Are making me cry. In February of 2014, Jillian went on a family trip to Puerto Rico, and Erica was liking and commenting on her Instagram posts. So Jillian posted this photo of the beach, and Erica says, "Unreal gorgeous."
So who is the celebrity here? Who is supposed to be obsessing over the other person? Who's supposed to be quote unquote stalking the other person? It seems it's reversed here. It seems it's flipped. It seems Erica is just gunning for this kid. So the question is, why? Why is she gunning for this kid?
And then Jillian responds, "This is by far my favorite picture I took. My mom wants to get it blown up at Erica Francvi." Erica responds, "I could see why, boo." Jillian responds, "So perfect at Erica Francvi." Erica then responds, dot, 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 "Yes, I know you are."
I'm just going to follow that with a little bit of silence. I just want us to all contemplate it. Let's actually contemplate it for the people who are going to try to explain it, the Erica splainers, who are going to be like, that's not weird. No. What? Never been a 25-year-old sending chocolate covered strawberries to a 15-year-old? That's not weird. You guys are haters. No, what? Oh, come on. You've never, as a 25-year-old, decided to message a 15-year-old about their lips and their skin and how perfect they are. You never decided to message them when they posted a photo of them with a person that's their age and said, "No new friends," almost like territorial, like or that's obviously all just a joke or something like that. By the way, just in general, going back to how they met, I'm trying to rationalize in my head under what scenario, if a 15-year-old, if you open the door and a 15-year-old was there, would you exchange numbers with them?
Now you
I'm trying
run, you run, you run, you run.
to rationalize it. Maybe if they were with their parent and they were like, the parents were like, he was looking for a job. Like, I don't know if you need like a babysitter. You guys want to go to dinner for a couple of hours, sort of a thing, maybe. But I'd probably take the parents' number. Yeah, I would definitely take the parents' number. I actually can't rationalize that. So I'm throwing that out because sometimes people in the chat can be more creative than me and they can say, oh, no, it's totally adorable to exchange numbers with the 15-year-olds and then kind of have this relationship with them. Where you're commenting and saying, making lesbian jokes. I don't, swing for the next team yet. Is that appropriate to say to a 15-year-old when you're 25? Come on, where are my Erika splainers in the chat? I want to hear it. It's a time to be alive. Everyone's explaining Jeffrey Epstein and all of his friends. Go ahead, go for it. I think it's fine. Go ahead. I want to hear it. There's so much that disturbs me about that. But again, when I first was going, everything is wrong here. That's my natural intuition. I didn't want to then extrapolate and jump to conclusions until I spoke with Jillian on the off chance that maybe it is my personal senses, having learned everything about Erica's background. Maybe my personal senses about Erika might be clouding my judgment. Maybe there was a perfectly reasonable explanation for that sort of relationship. Maybe she really is just such an amazing person.
Didn't you and Erica have a sit down where you discussed things, iron things out, and you struck a very conciliatory tone after that conversation? So what happened? I mean, all that just went out the window. Nothing came out of that. You're back to digging shit about her. These guys are really weird.
By the time she's 25 years old, such a strong and faithful Christian that she wants a 15-year-old to feel sexy or something. And I also want to note that this particular 15-year-old at this time, what we know based off of Jillian's tweets is that she doesn't have a father in her life. Okay. She tweeted this in June of 2014. I haven't seen my dad over 2 years. Okay. The reason why I want to point that out is because Charlie Kirk and I did a lot on the road discussing father absence and how these teenagers and children are instantly more vulnerable to tons of things, getting involved in the wrong networks, criminal activity. You need a father in the home. So I just find it interesting that it's a good fact to know about this girl at this time. Maybe her father's in her life since. I don't know. I didn't ask her, but I told you I called her. I instantly reached out because sometimes I just can't follow instructions the right way. And I asked her about how she felt about it 10 years removed from a situation. And she responded exactly how you might expect. She said at the time, as a 15-year-old, she was blown away by this amazingly beautiful, older, semi famous person that was giving her all of this attention. And for clarity, I am completely empathetic to that position and experience as a younger girl. Obviously, I correlated to how I felt. I think I've told you guys in the past about Christina Aguilera when she first dropped. And then I was obsessed with her when I was 13, 14 years old. My mom put me on punishment because I was so obsessed with Christina Aguilera. Christina Aguilera, at that point in my life, maybe if my mom had not punished me for idolatry, but at that point in my life, I'm racing home to watch TRL because I got to make sure she's number one. If Christina Aguilera had then given me tons of attention, I'd be like, oh, I can't even believe this. Christina Aguilera is giving me attention. She probably could have manipulated me into a lot of things because my brain would not have been developed. This is normal tween to early teen emotions and passion. And it's precisely, if you track my work, what has always been my biggest gripe with Taylor Swift, even though I like her music, it's because I find that she harnesses the power of that tween emotion to get business deals done. Yet she's 36. Anyway, I digress. That's the point of that. We know that they're reactive, they're emotional, and her fans will kill somebody if they have to, right? But hindsight is 2020, as we always say. And Jillian today is now 27 years old, and she fully appreciates how absolutely weird this was and how absolutely weird it is. And she's going back and she is wondering, what exactly was this all about? What exactly was Erika harnessing her teenage emotion for? Why is she continually telling her that she's beautiful, that she has perfect?
Maybe Erica was working for Epstein. Who knows? Who knows? Things are crazy these days. Well, I'm not going to go down into the conspiracy theory route like Candace Owens, but you know, just saying.
Lips. Why is this 25-year-old who's not even from Michigan interested in this dialogue with her? And something she points out is, I was with my friend when I met her, but she never had this relationship with Cheyenne. Cheyenne is mentioned elsewhere in that video. Why was it particularly Jillian that she was interested in? And curiously, get this, she tells me that she and Erika actually never hung out in person beyond that first meeting. So this was purely meant to be a platonic relationship where Erika said stuff even like this to her on Instagram. Jillian, that dime piece beside the car, though, she's referring to Jillian, just so we're clear. She's referring to Jillian beside a car as a dime piece. Again, if this was two 15-year-olds speaking to each other, I'd be like, that's totally fine. I actually tend to agree with Nice's assessment elsewhere in the video. Just put in your mind, this is a 25-year-old man referring to a 15-year-old girl. What would happen?
Oh, no, 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 no. Bad combo. Really bad combo.
What would you be thinking? And again, Erika did not actually hang out with her beyond that. So what exactly was her stated goal? Well, I can at least tell you what that last weird text exchange was about, the one where Erika tells her not to drink and to suck her stomach in.
Tell us.
Tonight, wherever they're going tonight. People assume that they had gone somewhere together, but no, that exchange is actually in reference to Erika then having sent this 15-year-old to have photos taken. Insane. She sent this 15-year-old to have photos taken. She's helping her because she's just so beautiful, get into maybe some modeling. That's at least how she presented it to her. So after telling her how beautiful and perfect her lips were, She then sets her up with a photographer, a friend of Erika's. Erika, she says, arranged the entire thing. This person she had only met once, then after what maybe love bombing her, you describe it, then sends her to meet up with this male photographer. And Jillian said that this photographer was kind of creepy. She's trying to remember his name. She says she remembers it began with an R and he was kind of shorter, chubbier. And yeah, I'd say,
Always the short, chubby ones. Always the short, chubby ones.
yeah, Jillian, that's pretty creepy. Any photographer who is taking photos of a 15-year-old without their parents' consent is a creep. Find me this. I am looking to find and discover who this person was. And I would also similarly say that any person who is arranging for photographs to be taken of a 15-year-old girl without explicit permission from that person's mother is a total creep. So Erika, having done this, is completely and utterly creepy. It's creepy. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. I will not allow people to say that it makes sense in some context. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. I asked, did she speak to your mother? She said, no, she never spoke to my mother. This was happening on the phone. Her mom's probably thinking she's just on Instagram speaking to whoever, and she's not even considering that this is happening. So what does all of this sound like? It sounds to me like every parent's worst nightmare. Your kid has a phone, they get social media accounts, they're making friends over the internet. And the next thing you know, you find out that there's a man at night, if Erika's message is to be believed, who's taking photos of them.
If you want to learn how to master using AI, don't watch YouTube videos. Why? There's too.
So I'll ask the question, the obvious question here. How much smoke before we are allowed to confirm that it seems there may be a fire?
You know what? I hate to admit this, but I kind of agree with Candace. All this seems very, very fishy, and it doesn't really make any sense. It's unexplainable. Even if Erika was trying to help this kid get into the modeling industry, the fact that you're doing it without her parents' consent, is a massive red flag. That shouldn't be done. Your good intentions can easily be misconstrued to be something else. So, gotta play safe. You've got to do it by the books, got to do it by the rules, have their parents involved so that everything is out there clean and clear. And those sexually suggestive messages, totally inappropriate. Anyway, yeah. But Candace Owens is still crazy anyway, even though she's right. She's still crazy. So just wanted to react to this and, give my 2 cents on it. And this whole Erika Kirk thing is really getting out of hand. When Candace started her campaign, a crusade against Erika, I was like, oh, what? Leave this woman alone. She just lost her husband. Come on, leave her alone. But with everything that's coming out now, maybe she deserves all this. Anyway, that's all I have for today. Like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in some other live stream. It's bye for now.